everyone. My name is Richard. I'm motivational speaker and life purpose coach. I hope this program helps someone today. Another episode from Life for Living Well. If you have any question, please write to me at info at lifeforlivingwell.info. Again, info at lifeforlivingwell.info. I hope you enjoy this program today. Relax and enjoy it. Thank you. So this is the third part and the last part of the series that we started 2 weeks ago, the virtue of self-motivation. The last part is more perfectionist individual. So how does having a self-motivation have direct impact on being a perfectionist? So once again, my name is Richard and I'm welcoming you back to Life for Living Well channel, and I hope that this particular message you pick one or two things from it. If you do have any questions or inquiry about this particular program or information, please write to me at info at lifeforlivingwell.info. Once again, you can write to me at info at lifeforlivingwell.info. Our website is lifeforlivingwell.info. And let's get started. So, the last episode of the series or virtue of self-motivation is perfectionist individual. How does they how did they get their own self-motivation? How can they use self-motivation to overcome the perfectionist trait that becoming an obstacle in most of their goals? So this is the last part of the series, the perfectionist mindset and habit. How did that work and how motivation come into place? So this is what I wanted to put a lot of emphasis on in finish up this video. So I'm encouraging you to take a deep breath as I'm doing the same before I start. Welcome back. Okay, so what it's all about? In most cases, these are capable individuals, but they are more focused on the result or goal than the process. Process in many cases deflected their motivation as they are able to forecast the amount of work and possibility of actual return. So because they focus a lot on what it takes to make anything happen, and they're also fully aware when it doesn't come true. So the amount of work to put into it or the effort to make it work discourage them completely. I remember Thomas Edison once said to one of the people that work with him, and he just said that most people, when they see the opportunity, they see hard work, and they ask him why. And he said, because when the hard work, when the opportunity show his head, it doesn't just come and declare, I am the opportunity. It come with a big cloth and it come with a lot of baggage, and it show that this is hard work, and they run away from it. Most people will choose a shortcut. I asked a few people recently, and I will be bewildered, be amazed the kind of decision they made about a life changing decision. And I will say, how did you come today? And they will give me a very simple answer by saying, because it's so simple. And I will so blow away that you make a life changing decision because it's easy. And I really not fully understood how they're able to come to that conclusion. But, that's where they are in their life. And that's the best decision for them at that time. So, continue with this particular discussion. Process in many cases deflected their motivation as they are able to forecast the amount of work and possibility of actual return. And that is true. When you are fully aware of that, it takes a lot of courage, a lot of internal strength to actually just put all your mind or your heart to it to start anything. Because you ask yourself, what's the point? Why spend 8 hours and get nothing in return? So why some people suffer from overthinking and analysis paralysis, which prevent them to start anything due to zero tolerance to failure. So at the back of the perfectionist individual, mostly they are very fully aware repercussion of not getting the result they want. So they wanted not to they have a lack of motivation to start at all because they are more driven by the result rather than the process that get them the result. But why being a perfectionist not a bad character or trait to have in some professional or career or personal endeavor? You being a perfectionist actually a critical trait or a behavior or character to have. So if you are a pilot or surgeon, you expect to be more precise how you deliver your operation, your surgery. Or if you're a pilot, you're more precise to make sure that your calculation is accurate and your vigilance and your observation is intact. So you can understand that. But how this affect people's life is more what I focus on rather than talking about perfectionists as if is a bad quality. Actually, is a very great quality. But like they say, uh, when things are go to another extreme, it can also be a very bad qualities to have. Also, most often, perfectionist individual has become use of using perfectionists, which has become a self-sabotaging in their interpersonal relationship and life goals. So I remember one of the Lao quotation, a Chinese philosopher once said, 1,000 journeys start with a step. You cannot jump to the end of 1,000 journey or 1,000 mile in just by just do it in 10 seconds. So you need to take a first step without worry too much about the end result, because the process will the one that will actually change you. Uh, I used to, sometimes when I do park run, I used to ask that after the race, few people that I know more observe about their personal best, and they keep asking me, oh, I feel seeing your result. What time did you finish? And I never seem to understood why they were so obsessed about PB, the personal best, which is really good to motivate you to push yourself more. But it comes to a point that the purpose of just running is PB. But there is so many things that come from running. It's good for you, it's healthy for you, is make you energize you, it open your mind, it make you connected to all your body, and it connect you with how you have a social event with other people. You just have the opportunity to just stretch and open yourself. These values and the benefit of just running is far more important than the PB. But I find it difficult when people are so obsessed about what time you finish. And every race, they always chasing to finish what they done last, to finish what they done last. So what I say is that 1,000 journeys start with a simple step. That's what Lao Tzu said, a Chinese philosopher. So as a perfectionist individual, because they were so driven about the result, sometimes they are more demotivated to actually start. But to grow, to learn anything, to become better in whatever you do, it takes process, it takes practice and practice and practice. What kind of person try to build something and he keep attempting and he keep attempting? Every time this doesn't work, he just learn how not to do it. He try another one and it doesn't work, he find another way not to do it. And he try another one, it doesn't work, he find another way not to do it. Finally, he find a breakthrough and he find a one way of doing it. But he has to go to series of failure before he get to that level where he can say, oh, this is how to do this thing. Right. Okay. So the way out of this clock is to prepare and expect to have less attached to the result. Growth comes through process and success comes through multiple ventures. Finally, there are many things in this world that you have zero capacity to control, but certainly you do have control. What kind of person you want to be, that you have control about that. There's a lot of things that most of us, all of us don't have a control about. How people treat us, what people think about us, what happened to us. Most of those things we have no control about it. But how we react to it, what we don't to it, is what we have a control about. And that is what more important. And if you chose to follow process rather than being driven by result, you will find your motivation come by true desire to grow, desire to learn. The main work starts with you first. I hope that this particular video will help someone to become a driver of change. Lastly, I wanted to say, let me know what you think. Show me your view, write to me, and tell me if you have anything that you can add to this particular episode, or is there another area that you think that this could be help someone else. Please share the video or share the podcast and let us hear what you are. What do you use as a motivation tool in your life? I would like to hear on your business. I would like to hear from your own experience. So we are all interdependent, and many times we tend to underestimate how much we can help others just by sharing our insight and experiences. So I would like to hear your own view, and I would like to hear your own experience and what exactly do you use to motivate yourself. So I'm really grateful, and I thank you for finding your time today to just listen to this particular podcast and follow it through. And I'm hopefully that we'll be back and giving you a thought-provoking message again. Whatever you do this week, have an amazing week. Thank you.